Welcome guys. Thanks for joining me today. We have a great series to follow up a long day spent in a chair. 21 moves all together, holding each pose for about 30 seconds. If I still have your attention, let's get right into it. Alright guys, we're going to get right into it, starting off with the glute bridge. On our backs, feet directly underneath our knees, we're going to squeeze those glutes, hips to the ceiling, keeping our abs engaged as tight as possible. Coming up into our seated position with our chest high and wide, spine neutral and straight. Raise those feet to the sky. If this is too difficult or too straining on the hip flexors, focus on raising the knees as high as you can get them. And moving into our seated twist, left leg is straight, right leg will bend at the knee, and we'll twist from the torso, not straining the neck. Focus on using the abs to twist, not overstraining the spine. And we will switch sides, using those abs to twist at the torso, not overstraining the neck. And moving into our first plank, hands straight on the ground, keeping a straight line from the top of your head to your feet, using your abs to keep your spine as straight as possible. If you need to drop to your knees, feel free to do so, but keep your stomach pulled into your spine as tight as possible. Coming up, we'll move into our back bend. Clasp those hands together, raise them above your head with your pointer fingers out, and lean back as far as you can. Take it slow, keep your abs engaged, and do not let your spine compress on itself. And moving into our side bend to the right side, getting a good stretch in the left side body, keeping your abs engaged and chest pointed forward. And we'll bring it to the other side, keeping those abs engaged, chest pointed forward, leaning only as far as you can comfortably do so, getting a good stretch in your side body. And unclasping those hands, raise them to the ceiling. Drop your hips down as low as you can comfortably do so, keeping your arms straight up to hold our chair pose. And hands will come down to mat, straight line from the top of your head to your feet. We'll hold our second plank pose. Abs are engaged here, pulled in towards your spine, keeping as straight a line from your head to your feet as possible. Dropping down to the mat, bring your hands as close to your hips, pushing your head through to the sky, and squeezing your thighs together as best you can for our cobra pose. Coming back into our plank, we'll push our hips up and out to form a pyramid and hold our downward dog pose. Focus on a good stretch in your calves and hamstrings, not so much on what you look like, keeping your back as flat as possible with your core engaged. Coming up to our feet, about shoulder width apart, feet out at 45 degrees, drop into a squat as low as you can comfortably do so, pushing your knees out, engaging those glutes, only coming down as you can comfortably do so while still keeping control. Feet come together at the front of the mat, right leg comes back, left leg bends at a 90 degree, and raise those hands straight to the sky for our warrior one. Hands clasped behind your back. If this is most comfortable here, feel free to stay here. Otherwise, for our more advanced pose, we'll bring the chest down to the knee for our humble warrior. Hands will come to the mat, front leg is straightened out, and our left hand will go to the sky, right hand stays on the mat for our revolved pyramid, focusing on a good stretch in the side body here. And feet together at the front, right leg forward, left leg back, about 4 feet. Right leg bent to the 90 degree. And we'll raise those hands up to the sky for our warrior one. coming down as far as you can comfortably do so, but getting a good stretch here in the hips. We will clasp hands behind back, staying here if this is what's comfortable, otherwise bringing that chest down to the knee for our humble warrior. And hands will come to the mat. Left hand stays down, right hand to the sky. Straighten out that front leg, and we'll hold our revolved pyramid. Feet will come together at the front. Right leg comes back about 4 feet and turned out 90 degrees, sinking into our hips, and arms come up for our warrior two. Keep those abs engaged. And front leg comes straight, front hand comes down without a twist, and we'll hold our triangle, getting a good stretch here again in the side body. And now we'll bend that front leg. Now our left foot will turn out 90 degrees, right foot front, and bringing those arms up again, parallel to the ground for our warrior two. Getting a good stretch here in the hips and keeping the core engaged. And front leg is extended, front arm comes down to the mat, other arm straight to the sky. Without a twist, we'll hold our triangle pose. Keeping that front leg as straight as possible without hyperextending yourself. It's only a stretch as far as you're comfortable taking it. And bringing feet about 3 feet apart, pointed out at 45-degree angle, arms above head at 90 degrees. We will sink into our hips for a squat and hold our horse pose, working all the muscles that are forgotten when we sit for a large portion of the day. And coming into our plank, forcing those hips back and up, dropping down to our elbows and holding our dolphin pose. If this stretch is taking it too far, feel free to drop to your knees and really focus on getting a stretch in your shoulders. Moving into our side plank, we'll put the left arm down, right arm comes to the sky, and keeping a straight line from the top of our head to the bottom of our feet. If holding your weight on the side of your foot is uncomfortable, feel free to rearrange or keep them flat on the ground for the most comfortable side plank you can hold. And switching sides, right arm comes down, left arm to the sky. We'll hold our side plank on this side. Again, keeping as straight a line as possible without putting too much pressure on your feet, whatever position is most comfortable for you. And for our final pose, our Sphinx, we will drop down to our belly, elbows directly underneath our shoulders, and we'll force our head through to the ceiling. Legs squeezed together as tight as possible, and keeping our core engaged. And with that pose, that completes our series. I want to thank you guys for joining me today. I hope it was good for you. I hope your body enjoyed it. You guys take care. Have a wonderful day.